You're listening to Cinematic Adventures, proud member of the Misfit Faction Media Network.
Good morning, Vietnam!
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I feel the need for speed.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Badges? We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
You make me want to be a better man.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
He's looking at you, kid.
I've always depended on the kindness of strangers.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Would you be shocked if I put on something more comfortable?
You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cinematic Adventures. If you're listening to us on the go, you can get us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and anywhere else you can pretty much listen to a podcast. I think that speaks for itself right there. As always, I'm one of your hosts. My name is Sean, and I am here with my best friend and co-host, Paul. Paul, how are you today right now?
Right now, this second?
Absolutely.
Let's not answer that. No, I'm doing all right. But I did enjoy the very smooth sounds of Sean starting off the podcast.
I'm working on it.
You're working?
I'm working on it.
Well, it's funny because we have so many podcast hosts. You know, there's me, there's you, and from MF Uncensored and Multiverse Fancast, we also got Ronnie and Rob. Yeah. And the last episode we did, the football teams episode, or the football movies episode, was a lot of laughter and a lot of high energy.
Oh, yes.
Because of Ronnie.
Well, yeah. Ronnie just adds energy to wherever he is.
But it's funny because, A, I know he's not going to listen to this, so I don't really care. Mm-hmm. And B, Ronnie is so funny. When he hosts, he's very structured and very, get to the point. But when he's not hosting, he's like making faces at me while I'm trying to host. He's like making us all laugh hysterically. Like I can't with him sometimes. It's the funniest thing though.
Sounds like a dad and his 2-year-old.
Ronnie is a 2-year-old. He's a 2-year-old that's
about to get married.
We're very excited about that. But he's also the 2-year-old that built the website and built our brand new store.
He's a very, very smart 2-year-old.
He's the 2-year-old that you need special latches on every door for.
He's Sheldon at 2 years old.
Ooh, that's good.
There you go.
There it is.
All right, folks.
We love you, Ronnie.
We do love you, Ronnie. And we love Jackie, too. I thought that a good episode would be, since the Academy Award nominations came out during the week, let's do an episode on the Oscars. And I love Paul's reaction when I said, hey, you want to do an episode on the Oscars? He's like, sure.
Yes, that was actually the emotion conveyed purely via text.
I read his body language when he sent that text, going like, oh, okay.
Actually,
fine.
no. You know what? Anytime you propose a topic, I'm like, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Because, and you know what? It is fun too because even though this is a movie podcast, I like that we don't always just talk about movies. It's been fun kind of branching out and trying different things. And we've had some good response.
Yeah, and I liked our MPAA, the rating episode we did a couple weeks ago. I liked the football theme we did last week. I am still
very upset that nobody in our Facebook group, the Misfit Faction Media Network, or our Facebook page, Cinematic Adventures, pointed out that our R-rated episode, and that's the title of it, our most R-rated episode was episode 69. Not a single comment.
I think you're the only one, though, that found that,
How dare you?
I'm just saying, listen, when you told me that was just, I thought that was awesome.
Well,
that was hysterical.
It's because America was founded by prudes.
Oh, of course.
Prudes that left Europe because they couldn't handle all the sweaty, sexy stuff. What movie?
Eurotrip.
All right, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm here for a reason.
I was watching Road Trip today, if that makes you feel any better.
That's a good that's an underrated movie.
We'll do an episode on the Trip movie.
An underrated movie. But that's not an Academy Award winning movie. No.
Wrongfully so.
Well,
DJ Qualls, Best Supporting Actor for Road Trip.
Alrighty then. All right.
Who would win in a fight? Mm-hmm. DJ Qualls' character from Road Trip or Cooper from Eurotrip?
No, Cooper.
You think so?
I do think so.
I don't know. DJ Qualls took out the fire extinguisher at the end.
Yeah, but I just feel like Cooper's got a little more,
Oh, he's got the bat with the robot at the end.
Bat with the robot. And I think he's a little more psychotic. I think DJ Qualls would quiver in fear.
That's fair.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's our first verses of the day. I think I'm going to have a few good ones because we're talking Academy Awards.
We are.
And some of the most...
So we're going to talk about, obviously, the nominations that came out this week. And we're also going to talk about the history of the telecast, the Academy Awards telecast. And then we're going to play a little game that Paul doesn't really know anything about. Which
I know nothing about.
It's fun, But, hey, when you're hosting, you come up with plans like this.
What if you weren't What if I hosted today?
Then that would have been weird, I feel like. Hey, I want to play a game. Oh, I'm hosting. Sucks for you.
The little jigsaw puzzle, jigsaw serial killer pops out.
Hey, I want to play a game.
No, get out of my house. I would drop kick that thing so hard.
What if you just saw one of those little tricycles, like in Scary Movie 4?
We're in the basement, so I really hope that's not a thing, because that out the door. You see me Scott Pilgrim out the window over here.
You just missed him.
He just left. But anyway, there is one question that I really hope.
What's that question, Paul?
I was talking.
Sorry,
that's rude. But there is one question that I hope does get answered: why they call it an Oscar?
That is a very good question, and we'll answer that when we are back from our break.
Oh, I wasn't ready for the break yet.
Oh, you weren't?
I have news.
Oh, you need to tell me that
before
we start recording. Okay, Paul, any news?
Well, just a couple of reminders for you guys. First and foremost, we do have our brand new Facebook group, the Misfit Faction Media Network. Make sure if you guys are on Facebook, you take a look at it. Most of the people on our friends list definitely got invited, so take a look at it. It's where we've been posting a lot of our mutual stuff, a lot of announcements for the show, a lot of different content in that regards. We do still have our Facebook page is totally up and running, but we figured a group is a better way of creating a kind of community, and we want you guys to interact with not only us, but also interact with each other and support each other, because we have a lot of people that do very creative stuff. We have other podcasters in there. We have people who do online coaching, so make sure you guys check it out. It's a good time. The Misfit Faction Media Network on Facebook. We also are working on our store. It is almost ready to launch. We're hoping to launch. Right now we're recording on the 12th. We're releasing this on the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yep.
And we're hoping to have the store launched the week of the 14th into the 20th. So Ronnie got his first shipment of stuff that he ordered. So far, he's very happy with it. We're going to start off very small with a couple of we have a t-shirt for Cinematic Adventures. We have two, actually, a t-shirt and a long sleeve shirt for Cinematic Adventures. And we have stickers, because why not? But also, don't forget, the Misfit Faction was chosen by Podbean to be an affiliate for Podbean. So if you guys are interested in starting your own podcast or trying it out and seeing how it goes, you can use our affiliate code, podbean.com/misfitfaction, and you actually get a free month of podcasting on us. So if you guys are interested in creating your own show, also reach out to us. We're always looking to add new content to our burgeoning, our growing network. I tried to use a fancy word. But we also have, if you guys are looking to advertise on podcasts, not just ours, but any podcast, we also have an affiliate code for a sponsorship option. And if you guys use it, you get $100 of free advertising, again, on us. And that's sponsorship.podbean.com/misfitfaction.
Wow. That's awesome.
Thanks. Now I'm ready.
Oh, now you're ready.
Yeah, I did it.
Okay, well, in the time you were talking, I actually kind of found the answer to your question. So would you like that now, or would you like it after the break?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. No, we're gonna make people wait. If I have to wait, people have to wait.
Fair enough. All right, we'll be back just right after these messages.
Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Raise Energy Drinks. Raise is a proud member of Rep Sports, and if you guys are looking for a little extra kick during your day, whether you need to tackle a workout or you need to get over that afternoon slump, you can always check out Raise Energy. And if you get to checkout and you enter the code Cinematic, not only will you be getting a 15% discount, but you'll also be supporting the network. So that's Raise Energy with Rep Sports. Code is Cinematic, CINEMATIC.
And we're back after that long little break. I've discovered the answer to Paul's question.
Did you say long little break?
I did.
That's like Little Bighorn.
Okay.
You know, it's funny, people ask us about because it's always the same commercial. We do.
Yeah, we should come up with new commercials.
I like the My Raise commercial, though.
Well, that's fair, but I mean, we got to branch out. We got to come up with other commercials.
Well, you know, fun fact, people, I thoroughly enjoy Raise. I get My Raise every month.
It wasn't a knock on Raise. I'm not insinuating.
No, it's just people think that we just have it there because they're sponsoring us, but I really like their stuff. I'm wearing my Raise t-shirt.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, it'll be on the video at some point.
Product placement.
If you believe in it. But anyway, all right, so let's start off then. Sean, I need to know the answer to this question.
So the answer to Paul's question, which was, how did they come up with the name Oscar? Well, the Academy officially adopted the name Oscar for the trophies in 1939, so a whopping 12 years after the awards ceremony began. However, the origin of the nickname is disputed. There's two possibilities. One, Betty Davis, the amazing actress who was the president of the Academy back in 1941, claims she named the award after her first husband, bandleader Harmon Oscar Nelson. And the other one is employees have affectionately dubbed their famous statuette Oscar, and they first confirmed this back in 1934. So it's all over the place.
You would think like history would be a lot better at this point, because like it's not that long, less than 100 years ago.
Less, we're on, if you can believe this, is the 93rd year of the Oscars this coming ceremony.
That's crazy.
So we're 7 years away from the 100th anniversary of the Academy Awards.
Yo, we're going to be alive for it.
We are. But a lot of people don't care about it. But I do. I like the Academy Awards.
Unfortunately, the Academy Awards is kind of like the Winter Olympics are going on right now. Nobody's watching it.
Nah.
Like, the Academy Awards, and we're going to talk about it when we get to, like, personal opinions.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with personal?
We can start about personal opinions.
I don't like the Academy Awards.
Why not, Paul?
Because I feel that the Academy Awards do not realize the more modern movie audience. Because you will find, I mean, I could very easily say Spider-Man No Way Home deserved way more than it got. The problem you run into is the Academy Awards is very antiquated. It is, like, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of movies that deserve all the Academy Award buzz. Like, you tell me like a movie like The Departed or anything like those, I'm all about it. I'm like, yeah, those are fantastic movies. But I do thoroughly believe that your more modern movies are going to constantly get snubbed, and only certain movies ever really qualify for the Academy Awards. And then sometimes it's just silly, like Suicide Squad or the original, Suicide Squad is an Academy Award-winning movie.
The David Ayer one.
Yes.
Okay. It won for what? Visual?
Yeah, or something like that. Costumes, maybe.
I don't. Okay, maybe costume is a. To me, that's a legitimate.
But
one.
you know what? It reminds me of
when you say Academy Award-winning film. I get it, but there are production categories that mean just as much as Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, all that stuff.
It's funny. It reminds me of a line from Superman Returns, because you know how much I love that movie. But this is actually a good line. Perry White says to Lois Lane, he goes, Pulitzers are like Academy Awards. Nobody remembers what you got one for, but they remember you got one.
That's fair. And honestly, and we'll discuss this after the little game we'll play later. I'll like your opinion on this, but the Academy Awards has always been what's the word I'm looking for? People call it rigged. I don't think it's rigged, but it's fun looking back on seeing what movies were nominated, what movies weren't nominated, what movies won, what didn't win. And you look at, some movies that didn't win are more popular than the movies that won. Mm-hmm. A lot of times the movies that win are just representative of the time that they were made, and they're not movies that last in the consciousness of, the general movie going. The movie buffs out there, yes, will remember most of these movies, but the general public, you'll tell them the title of that movie, and they'll be like, "I've never heard of it," or "I've heard of it, but I've never seen it." That type of stuff. But personal opinion for me, do I agree that the Academy Awards have angered me over the years? Absolutely. I will stand pat that. It bothers me that, and again, I am not in any way saying that the Lord of the Rings films are not good. They are very well-made movies. But I just thought that the Oscar buzz for those movies were so overblown. And then movies like Star Wars, yes, the first one got a ton of nominations. Didn't win all of them, but it got a bunch. Nothing for Empire.
Which is blasphemy.
Nothing for even Return of the Jedi. Nothing for the prequels. Now, I'm not asking for, Best Actor for Hayden Christensen, but I mean, even
visual
in
effects
or costume design or score, cinematography, that type of stuff. Harry Potter. The Harry Potter films got no love from the Academy. You could even, I'll say that the first two films are more on the family side, but once you hit that third movie, from the third movie to the eighth film, I thought any of those movies had possibilities to at least get a Best Picture nod, any of those. So, again, I'm speaking for myself here. That's just me. but it's like, what does the Academy want to like that year? So you like the fantasy, epic with Lord of the Rings, but you don't care for the fantasy sci-fi with, all the Star Wars sequels or the Harry Potter films. So it's always been, back and forth with me on the Academy Awards, but I do like watching it because I do like recognizing the talent and seeing these people win.
Right.
I've always enjoyed that. The first Academy Awards I remember watching from beginning to end was the year Titanic won. And there's a fun fact that the ratings for the Academy Awards obviously differ every year. But a lot of times they have higher ratings when the movies nominated for Best Picture are big hits. So, for example, the year Titanic was nominated, I think it's one of the highest rated Academy Award telecasts of all time.
Right.
Because that movie was just, oh my God.
That was a phenomenon.
It was a phenomenon.
It had an intermission.
What's an intermission? I don't know what this is.
I remember. Let's go.
Wait, this has got 2 video sets?
We had 2 video cassettes.
What? But that was the first one I remember watching, and Titanic won like every award it was nominated in. The only one it didn't win was like Best Supporting Actress for Gloria Stewart and Best Actress for Kate Winslet, but every other award it won. And then from every year on after that, I would watch with my parents, and as I got older, then you would start guessing, and you put like money down. Oh, this person's gonna win. This person's gonna win. And one year, I think I missed on every single thing, and I was like, not doing this again.
No.
I'm not doing this again. But that's just for me. And again, I'm speaking for myself. I've always enjoyed the Academy Awards just to watch.
Right.
But I understand the criticism. I do understand it. And trust me, I've had my moments saying this is BS. So it is what it is. But I think let's start with the nominations for this year. So, as I said before, we are entering the 94th Academy Awards ceremony. Wow. So, we'll start with the big ones. I'm not going to go into the technical stuff. Really doesn't really need to. So, Best Actor in a Leading Role. We'll start there.
Okay.
So, we got Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos.
That's the Lucy
and Ricky movie. Excellent movie, by the way. I highly recommend it to anyone out there. Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, which I have not seen yet. I really do want to, even though I've heard so many mixed things about this movie that it's absolutely boring.
That's why I like the actor in the lead and supporting roles, whatever it is, because the movie could be not so good, but they're just so good in it.
Oh, absolutely.
I love stuff like that.
Look at Joker.
Well, I mean, Dark Knight is still a fantastic movie.
No, I'm talking about the movie
Joker.
Joker.
Oh, Joker. Yeah, I gotcha.
Where the movie as a whole is highly just like a knockoff of Taxi Driver and Scorsese, but he is just so fantastic and so mesmerizing. It is what, he deserved to win.
Did you see
bits and pieces? Like, yeah. I just, the movie itself is not good, but he is just so...
It's not good. And you know what? I watched it, producer Melanie and I saw it in theaters, and we watched the whole thing. I have not watched it in its entirety since. I've tried to. I can watch the last 20 minutes when he finally becomes, quote-unquote, the Joker. But anyway.
But, we'll see. I don't think he's going to get tied into the Robert Pattinson. He's not going to get tied into the Pattinson.
As far as we know, no.
Oh, God. All right, we got Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom. I'm rooting for him. He's the one I'm rooting for.
I'm rooting for him, too.
Will Smith for King Richard. He's another one. If he wins, I would not be upset, because I think Will Smith has done enough good.
I think he's due.
He's due. And then Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. That is an excellent 5-actor nomination right there.
It really is, because there are a lot of times where the Academy Awards come out and you're like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, every now and then you'll get that stretch where it's a lot of actors that you've never heard of. Now, again, speaking for us, for me, I know a lot more. No offense, I'm just know more names than you, but to the general public, some people I don't know who that is.
Yeah. I really hope Andrew Garfield walks away with it.
I hope so too. I really do.
I think that we're in this weird renaissance of Andrew Garfield.
Well, see, it's funny because, he's always, ever since he did Hacksaw Ridge.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a couple years ago, and I can't remember if he got nominated for that movie or not.
I think he did.
But that was Mel Gibson's return to the director's chair, and he was fantastic in that movie. And he's been a good movie. He was in another one this year, what is it? The movie about the religious couple, and the Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Yes.
He plays, and he was fantastic in that. So, I mean, he's just a really good actor. He's also a Broadway. He's a Tony Award-winning actor for Angels in America. So, he is no slouch when it comes to the acting profession. And I feel that the Spider-Man role kind of maybe... I don't know, in a way, knocked him down a notch. But
I think, and ironically, I think it's his return in No Way Home that people are like, the general movie-going audience liked him so. He's getting a big resurgence in support.
Everybody wants him to do another Spider-Man movie, and I'm just like, guys, where were you 5 years ago?
I was right here, and I have been.
I don't remember you being. I know you were a fan of the movie. I don't remember you being hugely on Garfield.
Oh yeah, no, I loved. You can listen to our podcast on the Multiverse Fancast when we first. I always said he was the best Spider-Man in the worst Spider-Man movies.
Fair enough.
That's what I always I always thought he was just. Really, especially in the second one, he can that ending where Gwen Stacy dies. Like he portrays so much emotion, and they have such great chemistry too because they were dating at the time.
That's true.
But anyway,
did you hear about the story that he had to lie to her about being in the? That was fun.
I hope that if they do a third one with Andrew Garfield, it has something to do with him traveling the multiverse to find a version of Gwen.
They want to do a Gwen Stacy movie with her,
and that would be great.
Yeah.
And you make that your third Amazing Spider-Man movie.
There you go.
Or have him deal with Venom. I'd be fine with them.
We're just not dealing with Venom at all. That's like, I'm sorry. The more I think about it, that movie was such a letdown that I just.
Venom 2?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was horrible.
Oh, God. Alrighty. We got Best Supporting Actor. We got Ciarán Hinds for Belfast, Troy Kotsur for Coda, Jesse Plemons for The Power of the Dog, J.K. Simmons for Being the Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee for The Power of the Dog.
Those are names.
The only one I've seen of those is J.K. Simmons. He plays the actor William Frawley in the movie Being the Ricardos. Jesse Plemons and Cody Smith-McPhee, I probably say, are the frontrunners for The Power of the Dog. That movie's getting a lot of buzz. I think that movie's going to end up winning a lot of the awards. Let's see, who's next? We have Best Actress in a Leading Role. We have Jessica Chastain, Eyes of Tammy Faye. Olivia Colman going for her second Oscar win for The Lost Daughter. Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers. Fun fact. First time ever, a married couple both get nominated for Best Actress and Best Actor in the same year.
Man, what an awkward car ride home if one of them wins and the other doesn't.
I have a feeling neither of them is going to win, but I'd be happy if either of them. They're very good actors, both of them. Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos. I think she's the front runner right now.
Okay.
And Kristen Stewart
of
for
all
Spencer.
people. Yeah. I thoroughly love that both her and Robert Pattinson have gotten out of that Twilight.
Yes.
I think the problem is because you had three main actors in Twilight. You had Pattinson, Taylor Lautner, and Kristen Stewart.
And Lautner's kind of floundering in the Adam Sandler universe, which is not a bad. It's not. I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying, no offense.
The problem with Taylor Lautner was he went big action movie star first. Yeah. And it just didn't. He did some movie, Abduction, I think it was called, something like that. But like right on the heels of it. The other two went into smaller independent films and built up not only a set of skills, but also built up a reputation.
Yeah.
Right? Like Pattinson was doing some really good indie stuff, like The Lighthouse, stuff like that. What was the elephant one?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name, though.
Yeah,
with Reese Witherspoon, I believe.
Right. And, Kristen Stewart, she did movies like Adventureland with Jesse Eisenberg and much smaller stuff.
She had smaller stuff. She had her Snow White and the Huntsman. Remember that?
That was like her big return to blockbusters.
That was right after the Twilight films.
And it was so bad that they made a sequel without her.
That's right.
Just The Huntsman. Or I think it was a prequel, but whatever. But I'm glad. It's nice to see her... growing. I want to see Pattinson up here at some point too. I think
Pattinson at some point will definitely be an Oscar nominated.
Because I'll be the first one. Like when Twilight came out, I think I saw the second one in theaters with the girl I was dating at the time. Mm-hmm. I was a typical dude at the time. We all just made fun of it viciously.
Never seen any of the Twilight films.
Yeah, but I've seen most of them, and in all honesty, like. It's not the actors that are the problem. It's just a really bad script, really bad cinematography, and all the hair product. A lot of hair product.
All right. So, this just came to me.
Okay.
Think about this.
Okay.
Take out Adam West, and I guess take out Pattinson, even though we both agree that at some point we think Pattinson will definitely be on this list. But think about the men who have played Batman in movies. Mm-hmm. They are all Academy Award... No. Well, okay. They're not, but they're all excellent actors. They're not like joke actors who you don't think would ever deserve to be in this in these categories. You got Michael Keaton, who, in my opinion, was fantastic in Birdman. Was nominated. He was nominated in another movie as well. You have Val Kilmer, who, in my opinion, his role as Doc Holliday was snubbed by the Academy Awards. That is one of the most memorable performances ever. You have George Clooney, who has, won a Best Supporting Actor Academy Award. He's been nominated for Best Director, Best Actor numerous times.
As much as I like to bash Batman and Robin, same thing for Twilight. It's not the actors that are the problem. It's the script and the studio interference.
The script. And you could honestly say that movie created a career. Because Clooney, coming off of that movie, I don't think did a big budget movie again for, unless you count Ocean's 11, but I don't consider Ocean's 11 a big budget movie. I think that's more a movie with a bunch of people who were friends and decided to do this fun adventure movie.
It's what Adam Sandler's friends could do.
Seriously. But and then you got Christian Bale, Academy Award winning actor. You got Ben Affleck, Academy Award winning filmmaker. He won for Argo, not for director, but as producer of the movie. And now you got Pattinson, who is no slouch as an actor. So think about, and that's what pisses me off, all these people hating on the comic book movies and what they're doing to the cinema world.
It's getting bad.
It's getting bad, and I'm just like, what is your deal? Like, if you have an issue with the movies, well, talk to the actors who are in the movies. So obviously, they don't have a problem with it.
I think it boils down to, because just for a little context, more and more directors and more Hollywood people are coming out saying that comic book movies are ruining the industry.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but the industry's surviving on comic book movies.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the thing I don't think they want to admit. It's like, where would the cinema world be right now without Spider-Man?
And I'm not one of those people that's like, all the Avengers movies should get Academy Awards. No, I am not saying that at all. As much as I love them and as great as they are, but like Winter Soldier should have gotten something.
Winter Soldier, I think, could have won maybe like an original screenplay. Gotten something. Cinematography. Again, I don't think any of the Marvel movies, in my opinion, maybe Winter Soldier, Black Panther. But Black Panther is the only Marvel movie that's been nominated for really any significant Academy Awards. Do I think that was a little overblown, in my opinion? I'm not a diehard fan of Black Panther as a movie. I didn't think it was.
It's grown on me more.
I'm looking forward to the second one, just to see what they do, obviously, because obviously, we lost Chadwick Boseman, but do Marvel movies all deserve? No, like you said, you're not.
But
not
there
out
are plenty of them that hit. Like Spider-Man: No Way Home, I do think should have at least gotten some more nomination.
I would have had no problem with that movie being nominated for Best Picture.
1,000%,
especially when you have 10 freaking movies nominated for Best Picture. It was the argument we had back when Dark Knight got snubbed.
Yeah.
So back in 2008, Dark Knight, which was the highest-grossing movie of the year. You can't even give that a Best Picture nom? Oh, and then the following year, we're going to knock it back up to 10. So this way, movies like The Dark Knight would get nominated. Well, it really still hasn't happened.
Right.
Because the people voting, who, again, are all these same people. It's not like there's a contingent out there of Marvel haters, going, we're not going to nominate. It's all of Hollywood. It's producers voting for producers. It's directors voting for directors. It's actors voting for actors.
So a lot of political, a lot of who you know type stuff.
It's also, like, I don't know enough about the whole process. Like, you have to promote these movies. You have to
Spider-Man did it. Like, they were doing
Disney,
stuff.
Was Disney in charge of this or Columbia? Like,
I'm sure they had some sort of partnership with it. Because if Disney would only benefit from it.
Oh, absolutely.
But like I want to see Spider-Man No Way Home again, but I've seen bits and clips, but like the scene of like when he's trying, and spoilers, I guess, but the scene where Tom Holland fights Norman Osborn on the platform at the end, I was like, damn, Holland brought his A game, and like Willem Dafoe kills it in that movie.
Yeah. I was actually talking to a mutual friend of ours, and he was like, you couldn't even give a nomination to Dafoe? And I'm like, okay, I get that, but there was never any talk about him back in the first one. And to me, he was just basically playing the same character.
I think he did better in this movie, though.
Fair. That's fair.
Which is incredible to say.
Yeah, that's fair. Listen, if Willem Dafoe got nominated, I would have been ecstatic because I think Willem Dafoe is a fantastic actor who's also never won. So I'm not saying that they shouldn't be nominated. I'm just pointing out that just to nominate them for the sake of nominating them, it doesn't work that way. All right, so let's go back to this. Best Supporting Actress. We have Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter. Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. Fun fact, if she wins, I think that's the first time in history that both actresses playing the same character will win Academy Awards.
Oh, who's the character?
Anita. Yeah. Rita Moreno won for back in the original movie. We have Judi Dench for Belfast. Kirsten Dunst with her first Oscar nomination for The Power of the Dog.
Good for her.
and I'm going to butcher this, Aunjanue Ellis for King Richard.
It sounded good.
I apologize.
She's not listening, I promise.
That's fair. That's fair. I think Ariana DeBose is the favorite in this category. She's been the favorite throughout most all of the other awards hype, so we'll see. I'm going to mention animated feature film because to me that's Encanto's award to lose. Like, I've not seen Encanto. All I've heard is amazing things about it.
Right.
And let's look at director because that's really the only other one I care about.
But, you know, going back to animated feature film really quick, that's another weird category that sometimes they just nominate whatever they have.
Well, that's the key. And I think, in a way, in my opinion, it's both benefited animated films and it's also hurt animated films because an animated film had never been nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture until Beauty and the Beast, 1991, which was a huge story. I mean, 5 movies of the year nominated for Best Picture, and one of them is an animated film. A lot of people thought animated films were inferior films.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
That jump-started the whole love of animation again. But we didn't get another animated film nominated for Best Picture until, I believe, Toy Story 3, and that's with the whole 10 nomination thing. If there were 5, would Toy Story 3 been nominated? My guts is probably not.
Such a great movie.
But I believe the animated feature film award began in 2002, because I want to say Shrek or Finding Nemo was the first winner. Now, in my opinion, let's say, would Shrek been nominated for Best Picture? No. Would Finding Nemo been nominated for Best Picture? Maybe. That movie hit a chord.
Yeah, it's still good.
That movie hit a chord. Toy Story 3, any other ones I'm thinking of?
Spider-Verse,
absolutely. That's a fantastic movie.
Spider-Verse was a movie that I hated when I first saw it.
Really?
The animation style was very jarring for me. Just visually, I don't want to say it made me sick, but just like my eyes had trouble tracking. But like, I saw it a second time. And I think maybe it was just the screen I saw it on. Maybe it was just too much. But like, that movie is fantastic.
It is very, very good. I'm looking forward to the sequel to that movie.
I'm worried about it.
Really?
Well, because did you see like the sneak peek trailer thing for it?
I haven't seen it yet.
So basically, it shows him going into other universes, and he goes to the Spider-Man 2099 one. You remember, we see it at the end credits. You see the blue Spider-Man.
Yeah. And
he looks just like them. But in this trailer, or this teaser, this first look, whatever you want to call it, the animation style is completely different. And I was like, oh god, no, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Bummer.
So we'll see. Obviously, it's just a first look.
I don't know, but still, that one. But I feel like the Academy, the animated feature film category has really made it easier for them to not nominate animated films for the major awards.
I wouldn't have a problem with it per se if people didn't like put as much because there's not as much like best animated film. Okay, cool.
Of what? The 6 animated films that were made during the year? So to me, the award is not as gratifying as if the movie was nominated for the actual big award of Best Picture. But it's still, hey.
I'm surprised Dune didn't run away with some more.
It's uproar that Dune got a lot of the technical nominations.
We just sat down and watched it.
I have to watch it. It was good.
It's good. It's long. It's a part.
It's part 1.
It's a part 1. It ends literally on almost a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, because the original movie back from the 80s, it was both stories put into one.
Yeah.
This time, the director is spreading it out, which you get more into it. But yeah, it was surprising that he didn't get nominated for Best Director. But I'm expecting the sequel he'll probably get. I think he'll get something for the next one. All right, so we have for Best Director Kenneth Branagh for Belfast.
I like Kevin Branagh.
I do. Kenneth Branagh is a very underrated film director. Gave us Thor. I mean, when you think about it.
It's funny.
Yeah. And we have, I'm going to mess this up as well, Rizuki Hamaguchi for Drive My Car.
I think that actually was right, so good job.
Oh, thank you. Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Jane Campion, the first woman to have a second Academy Award nomination for Best Director for Power of the Dog. And Mr. Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. So I honestly don't know who the frontrunner is for this one. I want to say it's probably Jane Campion because I really think this movie, The Power of the Dog, is kind of becoming the darling of the Academy Awards this year. But we shall see. But those are the major ones I wanted to touch on.
You don't want to do Best Picture?
I did. Didn't I do?
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't. Wow. Oh, you're right. I started. Yeah, you could go.
All right, so for Best Picture, we have Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, which I need to sit down and watch.
I do too.
Drive My Car, Dune, which we just mentioned. That's why it came to mind. King Richard, Licorice Pizza. I got to watch that too. Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that a lot of these Best Picture nominations have no other, Some of them have nothing else in the actor categories.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting.
It's fun looking back on it, and a lot of times I would say in the last decade, you've noticed a lot more with movies getting nominated for Best Picture that don't have any like acting noms or no director nom or anything, or screenplay.
No Time to Die got a nomination for sound.
Oh yeah.
Some of these are just funny. Shang-Chi for visual effects.
But and I don't want to knock the visual effects, because I do believe the visual effects is a valid category. I will always be upset the year the first Transformers came out. It did not win Best Visual Effects.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot. But who beat them? Do you remember?
The Golden Compass. Dude, I was watching that show, and I literally let out, "Are you an effing kidding me?" And my parents were like, "What are you talking? What's the problem?" I said, "Transformers. They brought this amazing TV show to cinema." And it was outstanding. The visual effects in that movie are unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
And it lost to a freaking girl and a polar bear.
Yeah. I can't even don't get me wrong. The Golden Compass had very good visual effects.
Not as good as Transformers.
Not as good as Transformers.
I thought that was such a ridiculous. Oh my god! But what I was saying was if you go back in time to the 40s, 50s, 60s, a lot of these Best Pictures, the same movies would be nominated in the Best Director category, Best Actor category, Actress category. Also, there was a lot less films, maybe being nominated at the time, but you're definitely seeing an uptick in movies getting the big nomination, Best Picture, but not having any of the other major categories nominated in any way.
I'm really hoping that at least at some point they start adding more with the streaming, because I know that streaming was a big uproar for a lot of directors were against.
Yeah, Spielberg was against it.
Spielberg
which was
very
shocking. To me, I don't have a problem with it, because I think that's where we're going as a society.
And I don't get the difference, right? Especially this past year, where HBO Max is putting their movies out at the same time on streaming services. Yeah. There are a couple of movies that we were adamant we go see in theaters, and then others were like, we'll just watch it at home. And obviously it does have an impact on the movie industry, right? Mm-hmm. But it's at the end of the day, I'm still getting the same thing.
I know, I agree with you.
Is there a difference if I don't go see a movie in theaters and I wait for it to come out on streaming, or back in the day you waited for it to come out on DVD? Guess what? It didn't make any difference.
Yeah.
So I bothered. We have a couple of movies like Don't Look Up is Netflix original, but I hate to say it, Netflix is a movie studio.
Yeah, especially in the last couple of years.
They are doing more with movies than they are TV shows, it feels like sometimes.
That's fair. You're
going to get more movies coming out, especially because, look at The Witcher. We just talked about The Witcher on the Multiverse Fancast. Because
Being the Ricardos is Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon, what's another one? Now Paramount and Peacock and all these other things popping out.
Yeah, I think Amazon, Netflix, and maybe Hulu. I don't know if Hulu does its own movies, but they do more they did the Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee movie. Mm-hmm. That was Hulu, but
no, that's a TV show.
Oh, it's a TV show. It's a TV show. Okay.
Yeah. But I can't believe it sometimes, or you watch Disney Plus and stuff like that. And now you get The Mandalorian and stuff. It's funny because for TV, nobody cares. No. They'll throw the Mandalorian in there. They'll throw.
Well, look at the HBO phenomenon back in the late '90s. That was a big uproar. It's oh my God, how dare you nominate TV shows that were not on
network
CBS,
TV.
NBC, or ABC? And
it comes down to money at the end of the day.
And if you look at, which I don't watch the Emmys anymore because I don't watch half the shows that get nominated.
Yeah.
None of the network TV shows get nominated anymore. Mm-hmm. You used to watch the Emmys and Friends or Seinfeld, West Wing, any of the big network TV shows every year. And then now it's now you got Netflix, now you got Hulu, now you got Amazon, you got all these different streamings, but there doesn't seem to be any uproar with that.
Right.
With the movies, it's a whole different story. Don't understand why, but
makes zero sense.
It does. But I want to do this one real quick. I thought this was interesting. The rules for the Academy Awards. So, according to Rules 2 and 3 of the official Academy Awards, a film must open in the previous calendar year from midnight at the start of January 1st to midnight at the end of December 31st in Los Angeles County, California, and play for 7 consecutive days to qualify for any of the categories. Additionally, the film must be shown at least 3 times on each day of its qualifying run, with at least one of the daily showings starting between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. local time. So they give an example. The Hurt Locker, which won Best Picture in 2009, was originally released in 2008, but it didn't qualify for the 2008 awards because it didn't meet those rules. So who knows? We could have had Avatar winning Best Picture if it wasn't for these rules. Because
Interesting.
beat Avatar.
It's funny. You think about stuff like that. Yeah, obviously everybody knows there's Oscar season, the time where the movies, all those Oscar bait movies are going to come out, and that's another thing that they get criticized about, Oscar bait movies and pouring just money into just advertising basically for the Oscars.
You know, when you hit like September, a lot of the movies that come out October plus, are like their Oscar bait movies. Mm-hmm. It's very rare you see an Oscar movie earlier in the year. Like I remember Gladiator.
Because they don't want people to forget about them.
That's it. That's the key. I mean, big example, Silence of the Lambs opened up in February of the year it won. I mean, nobody expected that movie to be an Academy Award-winning film. Usually February is the dump month.
You know what movie I feel should? I don't know if it did get any awards, but should have.
What?
In Bruges.
No, I don't think. Maybe it got like a nomination for like screenplay.
I don't know why that movie.
It definitely didn't get any acting or any directing.
Because that's a movie that when I think like Oscar type bait movies, that's a perfect example. It's a movie that barely opened anywhere, that we had to go like 45.
Back when we actually tried to go see movies really hard. Like now, could you imagine doing that now? No, we'd both be just like, we're too tired. We don't want to do this.
Right, let's see. It got nominated for Best Original Screenplay. Excuse me. Yeah, that's another movie that
Who directed that movie again? Remind me. I thought you're on.
I was looking at. They have their own page for awards. It was directed by Martin McDonagh.
Okay, I can't remember what else he's done. I know he's done other things, and I'm blanking on them. But
that's fine.
Alrighty, so we're gonna play a little game here.
Oh, hit
me!
This
is the game that I was gonna shoot at Paul. So I'm going to name all the Best Picture winners.
Okay,
and you're gonna go if you've seen it or not.
Oh boy!
And then
I'm gonna feel really bad about myself.
No. I'm gonna mention other movies that were nominated along with it, and you're gonna be like, "Wow! Like, how did like a lot? Like I said, a lot of times movies that didn't win end up being more popular than the movie that did win." Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm gonna start with 20. Let's see. Last year, I'm not going to do because I'll be honest with you, I'd never seen half of the movies that were nominated.
Yeah, last year was a weird.
Last year was a weird year, and I feel bad for the people that won last year because it kind of feels like forgotten.
It's like the
what's his name?
Sympathy win.
Judas and the Black Messiah. He was in Black Panther. He was in Get Out.
I know who you're talking about.
He won Best Supporting Actor, but I just feel like no one remembers it because it's just the movies were. The award show was done like via Zoom. All right, so we're gonna start in 2019. Parasite wins Best Picture.
Right.
Did you see it?
No,
me neither. But it beat out Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Joker, 1917, which was the front runner for most of the award season, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I could tell you, in my opinion, deserved that award because that movie was fantastic. Mm-hmm. All right. We got 2018, Green Book wins Best Picture.
Is that with Viggo Mortensen?
And
Mahershala
Ali. That beat Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, A Star Is Born, and Vice were notable movies that were nominated along with that.
I think my only issue is like I've read about the Green Book, and like the people that it was about, like they're like, that's not really how it happened.
That's what I heard too. It was very, very
kind of like the
fictionalized.
The Blind Side.
Yeah.
But also, like, Bohemian Rhapsody the same way. Like, all of them are like, come on, guys.
I liked that. I really did. I liked that movie. It was so overrated.
Oh, 1,000%.
That movie did not deserve to be nominated for Best Picture.
I am disappointed that Black Panther did not win.
That would have been huge if Black Panther had won. I agree. That would have been a big one. The Stars Born. I mean, I remember that was a big front runner for a long time. Then we get 2017. So many people were pissed off about this.
All right.
The Shape of Water wins Best Picture.
Yeah. So here, ready? I'll hit you with a fun fact. So Mel and I are watching Supernatural. She's watching it for the first time. I've seen it, 17 times probably by now. But they introduce a new cast of characters in one of the later seasons, and Sam is going over what's going on in the world, and Bobby is like, so we live in a world where Best Picture is a woman who sleeps with a fish.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's everybody's like, is that the fish movie where the woman sleeps with a fish? And I was like, it's an homage to like Creature from the Black Lagoon. So like for me,
the porn version.
I understand that, but they couldn't get away with that in the 50s. So, but all right. So that beat out Darkest Hour, Get Out.
Get Out was fantastic.
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and in my opinion, Dunkirk, which was a fantastic movie. Christopher Nolan's World War II epic. Alrighty. Then we have Moonlight, And this was the big, the big
2016?
one. This was 2016. This was the year of La La Land, Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures. But that was the big hole when
they said the wrong
title at the end, and
they said La La Land.
They said La La Land, and it was Moonlight. 2015, we got Spotlight. Did you see Spotlight?
It sounds familiar.
That's the one about the Boston Globe, reporting on the Catholic priests.
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't seen the whole thing.
That's the last time I was truly excited when a movie won Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you see a movie and it wins, it's very gratifying. When you see a movie and you're like, I want this movie to win, this movie's fantastic, and it does, so gratifying. That beat out The Big Short, which was another very good movie. Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, those were big ones.
Oh, yeah. The Revenant was the Leo movie with the bear.
That's the year Leo finally won Best Actor.
Well-deserved.
Absolutely.
Well-deserved.
I think he deserved it for other movies. That one, I think, I'll be honest, I think that was more of a, okay, we've screwed a few times here, man. This is yours.
Yeah. You fought a bear.
Pretty much. 2014, we got Birdman.
I love Birdman.
That was a very good movie. All right, I'm going to just start going a little faster here.
We got time. Who cares? It's our show.
2013, we got 12 Years a Slave. That was a hard movie to watch.
Yeah.
That was a hard movie to watch. That beat out The Wolf of Wall Street, American Hustle, Gravity.
I did not like American Hustle.
Yeah, American Hustle was.
I think we saw it
letdown.
together, and
yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Christian Bale kills it in it.
Oh, he's good in anything he does, but that one, yeah, it was a bit of a letdown, that movie.
Because we didn't really know what we were getting into.
Yeah. Great cast.
Oh, killer cast.
Great cast, but. And we got 2012, Argo. Good movie. I don't think it deserved Best Picture, but it was a good movie. That beat out Django Unchained.
I really like Django Unchained.
Django Unchained is a good movie. I'm growing on Tarantino just because I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood so much.
I like his alternate history stories. Those are always fun.
See, I hated Inglourious Bastards.
Because
of that.
Yeah.
But now after seeing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm going back and seeing...
For Inglourious Bastards, I didn't know that he was going to do that, and I remember being annoyed too, and I was like, wait, what? That's not history.
I know. But
killing Nazis.
But knowing that, walking into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
made it a lot
I kind
easier.
of expected it, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. It was so good. So Argo beat out Django. It beat out Lincoln. It beat out Les Miserables, Zero Dark 30, and Silver Linings Playbook.
What a solid year that was.
That was a good one. That was a good year.
Those are all great movies.
All right, then we got 2011, which was the year the silent movie wins Best Picture, The Artist.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was making a big deal out of that. Not a great year, in my opinion. That beat out Moneyball, Warhorse, Midnight in Paris, Hugo, The Descendants. So not
a solid.
Not a big. That was a lot of more smaller movies. The King's Speech, 2010. That was
a good one.
That was an upset. That was an upset year.
Oh, really?
King's Speech was an upset. Yeah, a lot of people thought it was going to be Social Network.
I could see that.
Social Network was the big one that year.
That is a great movie, though. The Social Network. It's a dramatic retelling, but
yeah. So that beat out Black Swan, The Fighter,
Black Swan,
Inception. And I forgot Inception got nominated for Best Picture.
Oh yeah, I like The Fighter too. The Fighter's a good one.
Fighter's a good one. Toy Story 3, True Grit, the remake of True Grit.
Nothing makes me angrier than Toy Story 4.
I know. You've said that numerous times. I hear you.
Like, the more I think about it, the more
I agree with you that the movie didn't have to happen, but I still liked it.
I think that movie and I know we're on a tangent, but whatever, it's our show.
It shit on the Toy Story fandom.
It really did.
It
completely undid the end of Toy Story 3.
It did, because now if Andy comes back and goes to that little girl and goes, hey, where's Woody? And she's like,
it's not even that. It's like, this is what we were supposed to do. This is what we're made to do. And then Woody's... And they made Buzz Lightyear a tertiary character who was dumb.
Yeah,
I gotta listen to
the
inner voice thing the entire time. Oh God, sorry, tangent.
Right. No,
Triggered.
you're fine. All right, we're up to 2009, and that is, we were talking about this a little earlier. The Hurt Locker won Best Picture, and that beat out Avatar. That beat out The Blind Side, Inglourious Bastards, Up.
Down.
So Up was the first. Okay, I misspoke. Up was the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture after Beauty and the Beast. So. I remember Avatar was... A lot of people expected Avatar to win that year, but it did not. 2008, Slumdog Millionaire took home the prize.
I remember that was a big thing.
And then 2008 was the last year of the 5 nominations, so it'll be easier to read. So that beat out Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Frost Nixon, Milk, and The Reader.
Oh, man.
So that was the year that Dark Knight was snubbed.
Mm-hmm.
And we got 2007, No Country for Old Men. You ever see that?
I did see No Country for Old Men.
Good movie. I hated the ending, but good movie.
I drank your milkshake.
That beat out Atonement, Juno, Michael Clayton and There Will Be Blood.
I liked Atonement enough. I think I saw the whole thing.
Michael Clayton I liked.
Michael Clayton was good. Juno was good. It was definitely...
I actually watched Michael Clayton during the pandemic, and I was like, this is actually a pretty good movie.
It is solid.
Pretty good movie.
Yes.
Then 2006, we got The Departed.
I love The Departed.
Oh, Scorsese finally gets his Oscar. That movie, and let's be honest, like, if you look at it, I don't think that movie is in the same realm as Goodfellas or Taxi Driver or Raging Bull. I think that movie it came out in the right year, and it just was like, hey, this is your time. Let's give you the award. It's a very good movie, but I don't think it's as good as his other movies. But I love the movie. That beat out Babel, Letters from Iwo Jima, Little Miss Sunshine, and The Queen. 2005, we have Crash winning Best Picture. Many people think that was a snub on Brokeback Mountain because nobody wanted to give the award to that movie.
All right, honestly, did you ever see Brokeback Mountain?
Still haven't seen it.
I've seen it in its entirety, and it sucks because, like, what year was this?
2005.
So let's be honest. 2005. That's 17 years ago.
Yeah.
The world was a very different place.
Oh, no, I agree.
And as Sean and I were 17, 18 around that time. We were graduating high school.
Yeah, we were seniors in high school going into our first year of college.
So we will be the first ones to admit that maybe we weren't the most politically correct generation at that point.
I don't even know if it's politically correct. It was just a movie, and
well,
we weren't. What's the word? We weren't like
as aware,
and it just was not a subject.
It was the common cultural lexicon.
Yeah,
like producer Melanie is a big fan of Friends, so I've been watching Friends. It's a great show, but obviously they make a lot of gay jokes. I did not notice how many gay jokes they made. But again, it's a sign of the times. Bill and Ted make a gay joke in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. They're not canceling Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure anytime soon.
It's a sign of the times.
But
and that's what people need to understand.
So I finally did sit down and watch Brokeback Mountain. I think it was on Stars or something like that. But it is they are fantastic in it. It is a very it is a good movie.
It's it's all I've heard. And Ang Lee won Best Director for it. So it beat out that. It beat out Capote. Good Night and Good Luck. Very good movie. And Munich. Very good movie. So that was a surprise for Crash. And Crash is highly considered to be one of the biggest overrated Academy Award movies of all time. All right, we got 2004 $1 Million Baby. For Clint Eastwood takes home the big prize. That beat out The Aviator, Finding Neverland, Ray, and Sideways. Oh, Sideways.
I remember that movie.
Yeah. Then we got our favorite, 2003, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King wins Best Picture, and that beat out Mystic River, which was an upset for me. I loved that movie. That's fantastic.
That's a solid one.
Seabiscuit, the movie that almost gave us Jake Gyllenhaal as Spider-Man. Lost in Translation. We were talking about Sofia Coppola a couple weeks ago, and now she was nominated for that movie. 2002, Chicago takes home Best Picture.
I like Chicago. It's a good one.
That's one of the best movie musicals, I think.
Movie musicals are they're either completely lauded or
hit
hated.
or miss.
Like
hit or miss. There's no middle ground.
Or you get one like Rent.
Yeah.
The younger generation loved it, like that.
See, I don't know about that because where was everybody that when Rent came out? Because that movie made no money.
Yeah, I know. Still very good.
But Gangs of New York beat out Gangs of New York.
I love Gangs of New York. That's a great movie.
The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. So Chicago was a big winner of that one. 2001, Beautiful Mind wins Best Picture.
The movie creeped me out as a kid.
Yeah.
All the multiple personalities and stuff.
Beat out Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring. It beat out Moulin Rouge.
Oh my God! I love that movie.
I mean, a lot of people like Moulin Rouge is actually a really good movie. I have to admit,
it's got a little bit of a cult following too.
It does, and it's on Broadway now. So then we got Gladiator taking it home in 2000. The big movies that beat out: Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Aaron Brockovich. 1999, American Beauty beat out The Sixth Sense. The Green Mile, The Insider.
I do like American Beauty, though. That's a good movie.
American Beauty is a very good movie. As much as people don't want to talk about Kevin Spacey anymore, he was fantastic in that movie.
How many years back?
I'm going to speed it up a little just because...
All right, hit it.
We got Shakespeare in Love winning in 1998, beating out Saving Private Ryan.
Overrated.
Titanic winning in 97, beating out LA Confidential. English Patient... Braveheart winning in 95.
I love Braveheart.
Beat out Apollo 13. Forrest Gump... And that beat out Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption. I'm more trying to get movies that are in our consciousness that were like, wow, that lost.
Yeah.
Schindler's List, 1993. You can't argue that
List
one,
ever.
even
That's
though
one
it
of
beat out The Piano, In the Name of the Father, which are very good movies. Unforgiven beat out A Few Good Men, beat out The Crying Game, Silence of the Lambs, Beauty and the Beast, JFK. Dances with Wolves in 1990 beat out The Godfather Part 3, Goodfellas, and Ghost. Driving Miss Daisy beat out Field of Dreams, Dead Poet Society, Rain Man.
It's crazy. I wonder, not to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
I wonder how many of these movies, like if you were to do a retro Academy Award right now, same categories, new voting, how many of them would still win?
That's very good. Like right here, 1982, Gandhi beat out E.T.
Yeah.
So like to me, if you went back and redid it, I think E.T. would win because E.T. is one of the most loved movies of all time.
I think if you were to, again, and that's why the Academy Awards is always, like the people who are voting aren't always the best options, I hate to say.
Well, I mean, but okay, to be the devil's advocate, who should vote for the Academy Awards?
And that's the question you're always going to run into, like
because no offense, if you rely on just the general public,
it's going to be nothing but Marvel movies. I know.
No, not even that. I'm sure they wouldn't take it seriously, and like you get cruddy movies being nominated.
Right.
So it's I don't know enough about the inner dealings of how they nominate things yet.
Yeah, because we don't have any money.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, I've always read that, actors vote for actors, directors vote for directors. That's the way I always thought it was. Obviously, to me, it doesn't sound like that because, like, you hear these actors say, oh, my God, this guy was so amazing. Well, he wasn't nominated. So, like, obviously not everybody feels that way. Like, I don't get it. So, big one here. Annie Hall in 1977 beat out Star Wars. So, obviously, you look back on that now. Would Star Wars win?
Probably.
Maybe. Probably. Even though Annie Hall is a loved movie.
And he's another person that people don't talk about anymore.
Yeah, I know. Don't even get me started on Woody Allen.
He married his stepdaughter.
That's not even what they're upset about.
I know. He's got other issues.
I know, but I don't believe him. So, just saying.
Anyway.
All right. Rocky wins Best Picture, beat out All the President's Men. I mean, I love the first Rocky, but do I think it's Best Picture? Godfather Part 2, Best Picture. Yeah, beat out Chinatown. Excellent movie.
Very good movie.
73. This is an interesting one. The Sting wins Best Picture. I love this movie.
Didn't you show me that movie?
I did show you that movie. That's the Con Man movie with Robert Redford, Paul Newman. Outstanding movie. It beat out The Exorcist. See, The Exorcist is a fantastic movie, and I think if you go back,
unfortunately, also The Exorcist is still in the common lexicon.
Yes,
people
I agree.
still know that movie.
I think if you went back right now, I think The Exorcist should win. Let's see here. We got The French Connection winning in 1971, beating out A Clockwork Orange. That's another one that's in the lexicon.
Yeah.
In the Heat of the Night in 1967, beating out Bonnie and Clyde and The Graduate.
I prefer The Heat of the Moment. I got him.
All right, we got 1964, My Fair Lady beating out Dr. Strangelove.
Really?
Mary Poppins. Let's see.
Dr. Strangelove is one of those movies that I love.
So great.
Didn't appreciate it when I first saw it.
I know, because as
we were young.
I remember seeing it in high school. Mr. A showed it to us in like sophomore year, and you don't it's funny because you laugh at it because he's laughing at it.
Right.
But now I watch that movie and it is just it's just fantastic.
So good.
It's a fantastic movie. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through here. 1952, The Greatest Show on Earth took home the Best Picture, beating out The Quiet Man, High Noon. So that was a big upset year. See, like I'm trying to find ones where like, oh my God, how did that win versus something else didn't win? So we'll do 1941. How Green Was My Valley wins Best Picture. The movie it beats out Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane is highly regarded one of the greatest movies of all time. So and there it is well documented that a lot of people feel Citizen Kane didn't win because of the uproar of that movie in terms of, William Randolph Hearst basically not showing it in any of his movie theaters and a lot of negative press on Orson Welles. So
did I ever tell you how that movie was spoiled for me?
Family Guy?
No. The Real Ghostbusters.
Really?
They did an episode about the ghost of that guy.
Oh, really?
What's the name of the main character
in the movie? Charles Foster Kane.
Yes, the ghost. They go to the mansion to investigate the ghost of him, and the ghost needs the sled at the end to pass on. So I knew that going in, and I remember watching it. Like, we were watching the movie, same thing, in one of our classes in high school, and he says Rosebud. I was like, why does that sound so familiar? And then I was like, oh my God, it's the sled. It's Ghostbusters.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do this last one here. 1939. This is highly regarded to be the greatest year in the history of film.
Okay.
Gone with the Wind takes home Best Picture. It beat out Wuthering Heights, Stagecoach, Of Mice and Men, Ninotchka, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Goodbye, Mr. Chips, and The Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
So
big year.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking back on it, I mean, there are some years where you're just like, how did that movie not win? knowing what we know now, back then, who knows, but there's a lot of times where, not the biggest movie of the year and not the movie that is in our consciousness now got the award.
That's crazy.
I just thought this would be fun just to go through and see.
I like it. This was a good game.
What movies we have seen, what movies we haven't seen. And, we actually seen a lot. Surprisingly. We've done well. So, any other things you want to add on to that?
I have Fan Feedback Friday.
Fan Feedback Friday.
Oh, all right. So, what was the first movie you remember seeing in a movie theater? Courtesy of Mr. Sean. This was his question. Right? Yeah. It's a lot easier than when at 8:52 when I'm like, I need to think of something right now. But let's see. So this Rob, our friend Rob from the Multiverse Fancast, he has a film class. So a lot of these are their answers. Toy Story 3. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Paranorman, Frozen, The First Amazing Spider-Man, Iron Man 2, Despicable Me, Titanic in 3D, The Muppets, Smurfs. He's got kids in his class.
I was about to say, these kids are got to be mad young.
Star Wars. Yeah, the original Star Wars. Wow. Hook. Let's see. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. E.T., Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, Bye Bye Birdie, but just kidding. Blue Hawaii, and Wizard of Oz. And for me, I didn't get a chance to write mine, but The Lion King.
That's the first movie you remember seeing in a theater?
I remember seeing in a theater, yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, I'm sure you've been. I mean, I've been told the first movie I ever saw in theaters was Oliver and Company, but I have no recollection of it.
Oh, God, yeah. I can imagine that I've seen other movies but Lion King's the one that I just remember seeing the earliest.
For me, it was Hook. That's the one that's still in my brain of actually going to a theater and seeing it. And after that, I'm pretty good. Aladdin, Lion King. I remember seeing all those, but Hook is the first movie that I can remember seeing. So this was fun. I enjoyed this. As always, I like any episode we do. Pretty much.
There are a few exceptions, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Listen,
but also, I think sometimes the more fun ones are the ones where we don't agree on the movie.
Yeah,
those are always good.
And that'll happen quite a bit probably from here on in, because we'll try and think of something to talk about next week.
Well, I know I want to go see Uncharted. So
I do too.
Maybe we'll catch that and we'll do an episode on it. I still need to see Jackass because I heard it's fantastic.
Jackass. We still need to see a bunch of new movies.
Yeah. Unfortunately, now we're out of we're going to release it on streaming the exact same week mentality, which kind of sucks because it was easier for us. We were able to do Godzilla versus Kong almost immediately.
Yeah.
Great. We saw that in theaters, I think. But it just...
Yes, we did.
Yeah, well, I was adamant we go see that in theaters because it is giant... Big lizard fight big monkey. Big screen.
Big lizard, big monkey.
I'm still rooting for Kong, man. Oh, poor guy. He tried his best.
Kong did all right.
He won the second fight. But so that's going to wrap us up for tonight, I guess.
Oh, yes, it is, sir. As always, I'm Sean.
Well, I was going to also tell people more content and stuff. But
go for it.
So if you guys want some more content from us, you can go to our website, themisfitfaction.com. There you'll find links to all of our different podcasts and shows and articles, all that sort of stuff. When our store goes live, that's where you're going to be able to find our merchandise. Also on our Facebook page.
What's the name of the store?
It's on the website.
No, but what's the name of the store?
Store. That's what the page is going to be called, the store. But you can also find us on Facebook, Cinematic Adventures. There you can also participate in Fan Feedback Friday. We also have our YouTube channel, the Misfit Faction Media Network. We have our Instagram, the Misfit Faction, and we have our Twitter at Misfit Faction. Now I'm done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, as I was saying before, I'm Sean.
And I'm Paul.
And everybody out there, have a good weekend. Go Bengals!
Yeah, sports. This is coming out on Monday. I hope they won.